Hey, E10. So today what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about continuing using scales and scale factors and start to seeing how they apply to the real world. So if we remember, we talked about that to find the scale factor of an object, scale factor is the copy over the original. So the first thing we need to do is we look at it. We need to figure out what's the matching sides. Well, we can see the side 5, it matches with the side 20. So I can use that as my scale factor. So I want to do 20 over 5. And when we put 20 over 5 on our calculator, what we end up with, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So our scale factor to go from our original to the copy is 4. And remembering, since our scale factor is larger than 1, that means it was an enlargement. It got bigger. Moving on. Again, we can see we have an original and we have a copy here, but this time it's the other way around. Well, remember, our scale factor is always the copy over the original. We've got to find matching sides. So 25 matches with 5. So we always put the copy over the original. So we're going to write 5 over 25. And 5 over 25, well, that's just 1 over 5. And since our scale factor is a fraction, because it was a fraction, what we've got is we've reduced and we've shrank our original. But one thing I want to say is I can write 1 to 5 in a different way. I can write it as what we call a ratio. And I'll write it and I'll read that. I'll read this sentence here as 1 to 5. And what that meant is 1 unit of measurement on the map or the drawing or my copy. 1 unit measurement on my copy is 5 measurements of whatever I measured in on the original. And we can have a look at that we looked yesterday in class at Google Earth. Here's an image from Google Maps. And down the bottom right there on Google Maps is a little scale for us. And I've enlarged it up here for us. And this is a scale. And this scale, it represents 1 centimeter is 50 meters in real life. But let's talk about how would I represent that now. So we're going to talk about simplifying scales. So the first thing that we want when we're simplifying our scales or simplifying our ratios is that these units, they need to be the same. All right, they need to be the same. And right now, centimeters and meters, they're not the same. So we need to convert 50 meters to centimeters. So if we come over onto the right-hand side here, we can see we're starting at meters and we need to go to centimeters. So you can see how I've gone up to centimeters. So I need to multiply it by 100. So we're just going to write 50 meters to centimeters is equal to 50 times 100. And when we evaluate that on our calculator, type 50 times 100 on our calculator, we're going to get 5,000. So that gives us a scale of 1 to 5,000. And remember, that means that's the original, that's the copy, and what it means, 1 unit of measurement on the copy is the exact same as 5,000 units of measurement on the original. And that could be in anything. 1 millimeter on the copy is 5,000 millimeters on the original. 1 centimeter on the copy is 5,000 centimeters on the original. 1 kilometer on the copy is 5,000 kilometers on the original. That's how we interpret that. So let's go through and look at a couple more examples on this. Let's convert this one. Let's simplify 5 centimeters to 1 kilometer. Well, the first thing, Notice that they're both, this one's in centimeters, that one's in kilometers. I need to make them the same. So 1 kilometer to centimeters, I'm going to change kilometers to centimeters. I go over to the right hand side here, and from kilometers to centimeters, I've got to go up and up. I need to do both of those ones to get from kilometers to centimeters. 1, I'm going to multiply it by 1,000, which is that first step, and the next step was multiplying it by 100. So I'm going to multiply it by 100. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. 1,000 times 100 is 100,000. So our scale becomes 5 to 100,000. Now the last thing I want you guys to do for me is to just double check that can't be written in any easier format. So on your calculators, what I want you to do on your calculators, I want you to write 5 over 100,000, and it needs to be the fraction button. Don't write the division symbol. And when you do that, the calculator is going to say, well, 5 over 100,000 is 1 over 20,000. That's what the calculator is going to say. So what we say then is our scale is 1 to 20,000, which means 1 unit on the copy. So the copy, original. So 1 unit on the copy is 20,000 units on the original. 1 millimeter, 20,000 millimeters. 1 centimeter, 20,000 centimeters. You guys get the idea. Let's go through and look at some more examples. All right, so using scales as examples. So here we go. Glenmore Park and Emu Plains are 9 centimeters apart on a map. I'm going to highlight that. That's important for me to know. 9 centimeters apart on a map. And the scale is 1 to 50,000. And remember, with scale, that's the copy, that's the original. So 1 unit on the map is 50,000 units in real life. Let's go figure it out. So what is the actual distance between them? Well, if it's 9 units on the copy, that's 50,000 in real life. So I have 9 lots of 50,000. So 9 lots of 50. 1, 2, 3. Get our calculators out, multiply that. If we're not sure, that's 450,000 centimeters. So Glenmore Park and Emu Plains are 450,000 centimeters apart, which is the absolute correct answer. However, no one ever describes the distance between Glenmore Park and Emu Plains as 450,000 centimeters. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make life easy for ourselves. And let's describe it in kilometers. So I'm going to describe it in meters is what I've got here, written here. So centimeters to meters. So if I think about this, going over to our map, I'm starting at centimeters and I need to get down to meters. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do 450,000. I'm going to divide that by 100. And when we divide that by 100, we get 4,500 meters. So the distance is 4,500 meters, which is also, just for fun, 4.5 kilometers away from each other. And now you can see describing as 4,500 meters or 4.5 kilometers is more realistic. So that's why we do that last step of converting to a different unit of measurement, even though this is also a correct answer. A drawing of a plane uses a scale of 1 to 800. So remember that means 1 unit on the copy is 800 units on the original. Sorry, you can't see that. 1 copy. The plane has a real life wingspan, So real life, which is the original, of 28 meters. What is the length on the drawing? Because I'm going from original down to my real life, what I'm going to do here is we're going to get 28 and we're going to divide that by 800. Right, so we're going to get our calculators out and we're going to do 28 divided by 800. When we did that, we get 0.035 meters. Because remember that unit there was in meters, so my answer is going to be in meters. But are we going to talk about drawing something on a diagram as 0.035 meters? No, we're not. Let's make that into an easier unit to understand. And we're going to convert meters to centimeters. So starting at meters, we need to go up to centimeters. So we've got to multiply by 100. So we're going to get 0.035 times 100. Put that on our calculator. And what we end up with is 3.5 centimeters. So on our diagram of this plane that we're going to draw, the wings all the way across would measure 3.5 centimeters because that means they were 28 meters in real life based on the scale that we used. 2 more examples to go, guys, and then you can get on with doing some work. Right, question 3 here. A room in a house measures 3.6 by 2.8. So if I said a room in a house, that is going to be the original. That's the real life measurement, the original. On the plan, the room measures 18 millimeters by 14 millimeters. So this is going to be the copy. What we're looking at here, we're going to find matching sides. So I'm just going to highlight those ones in different colors. These are the matching sides. So remember, when we do this, we've got to do matching sides and we've got to do copy over original. When we do copy over original, we end up with 18, and what we end up with is 18 millimeters over 3.6 meters. We want them in the same units so we can do the fraction properly. So 3.6 meters to millimeters. Coming over here, so we want to go from meters all the way up to millimeters. So I need to do both of those. So we're going to do 3.6 times 10 times 100, which was both of these. And 3.6 times 10 times 100 is 3,600. All right, so what we end up having is 18 over 3,600. When we type that on our calculator, we get 1 over 200. Remember, our question asked us what is the scale, so we want to write this as a scale using a ratio. So we're going to say that's 1 to 200. Remembering that 1 on the copy is 200 in real life. I think that's the last example there, guys. Remembering, just touching base on that, 1 unit, so 1 centimeter on the plan, 1 centimeter on the copy, 1 centimeter on whatever it is 200 centimeters in real life. Or if it's millimeters, it's millimeters. Have a go at doing the Maths Online task that I've set for you. There's also a video on Maths Online that you can watch. If you're not sure, just do the questions online. If you need to do some working, write the working down in your workbooks, which are in the box there. And remember, there's some calculators in the box as well if you need to borrow them. Right, guys, good luck with it, and I will catch you later.